All right. Hello. I'm a casual football fan, and today I'm going to talk about the AFC North. Kind of want to just go over each team. It's mainly going to be more D-line focused, the only position I care about since I coach it. But I don't mind talking about everything else for a bit too. I think the way teams are built is very interesting. I feel like the more I know about football, the more a lot of these moves make sense. Doesn't mean that I'll agree with the moves necessarily, but like a lot of moves just make sense. I mean, it should. These are professional teams doing it. But yeah, I'm gonna do it from clockwise and from their team name, mascot name, alphabetically. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with the Bengals, which is a really good team. Of course, you have Burrow, Browning, who's been fine. It, it's gonna be more casual for like all the other positions. Like I'm not gonna act like I know like how wide receiver plays. I just know basic stuff. Um, Same thing with like DBs and all those skinny positions, like whatever. But it's definitely stuff that I see too. Um, yeah, I mean this offense is still really good. Trent Irwin played kind of well too. Yeah, I mean this team is really nice. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in what they're gonna do. They did lose their OC, but I don't think it's too big of a loss. Zach Taylor calls plays anyways. Um, yeah, like Burrow, he's really good. There's really not much to say. I mean, he doesn't have like the biggest arm, but who cares? Like the main thing that's important with the quarterback is just can you play on time, play on schedule, and could he do more? And Burrow can do more. He can extend plays in the pocket and do all that type of sort of stuff. Even though he doesn't have like the biggest arm or isn't the most fastest runner, like who cares? Could he run an offense? Could he run it effectively? And could he do more off of that? Which yes, yes, and yes. I don't like the running back room. They traded away Joe Mixon. Like Mixon was still nice. He could still do more than these dudes, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a weak running back room. Like Moss is fine. Brown's a bit more explosive. Williams, Evans. Like it's not much. I'm not a huge fan of that. Wide receiver room, you lose Tyler Boyd, but you have a ton of really nice options. Like Jermaine Burton could be really nice. He's also a head case, so that's kind of a bit of an issue, but I mean, whatever. You have Jamar Chase, who's one of the best receivers in the game. T. Higgins, who's probably one of the best wide receiver twos in the game. Um, yeah, he's playing on a 1 year deal. I don't know if he signed the franchise tag or if they just extended him for 1 year. It's kind of funky, but they did something and brought him back. Trent Irwin had a couple of nice plays that I've seen on Twitter, which I know Twitter analysis. I don't really watch anything in depth besides D line. Um, but yeah, I mean, you have a ton of just options. Drafted two guys. That could be their wide receiver three. That's the main question. Like, who's it going to be their wide receiver three? Because their first two dudes are set. They have so much options. That's good. I mean, tight end wise, it's pretty weak too. Mike Gesicki's nothing at this point. Sample, Hudson, whatever. Nothing too crazy. The O line's interesting. Had an O line. I talked to an O line guy, Gabagoo, and kind of just went over Orlando Brown's game, and like he's a good tackle. He just has a weird game because he's very unathletic, but he's super long and strong. So the way he plays, it's just more like I'm just gonna have two good kick sets and just beat you with my length. So that works. And Trent Brown's kind of the same way. Trent Brown's gonna be more of a swing tackle, I'm guessing. Like he got a cheap contract, whatever. He could play both sides. Amiris Mims is the interesting dude. I think he's the most talented tackle in this class. Um, like his main issue is he had some injuries, which I mean it happens in football. I think part of it might be just how athletic he is and how well he moves. It's kind of like the Tyron Smith type thing, where it's just hard to move at that size and be that athletic. because his frame is kind of similar to Tyron Smith, but he's not like, even though he only played like 8 college games, he's not a raw player. He's just inexperienced. Like he probably has like one of the best, some of the best technique in the class. Um, that's a really nice move. And just Trent Brown as a swing tackle. Karras and Kappa, whatever. Volson's kind of just a black hole here. He's pretty bad. Backup wise, same thing. It's just whatever. Yeah, don't really want any injuries to happen. I mean, offense is good still. Defense is where things get interesting. Last year they were kind of not that great, and I brought this up because I was gonna play some clips, but I'll talk about it in a bit. Um, Linebackers are cool. Don't really notice much or too much with them. Cam Taylor-Britt looks really great though. That dude is noticeably good. I don't know if he's like the second best cornerback in the division, but he's up there. Number one, of course, is Denzel Ward, who just moves differently. But Turner's cool. Hilton's nice. Not sure too much about the depth, but I mean, they'll probably make it work somehow. Safety wise, oh, Dax Hill, the backup. I don't know what they're gonna do safety wise, because they got Geno Stone and Von Bell. Von Bell's more of an in the box safety. Geno Stone, it's not a good tackler. He's nice in coverage though, from what I've seen. He's probably more of a true free safety. Dax Hill can be that deep free safety too, and he's kind of wild because he's a bit late on his reactions, but he's like, I don't know, runs like a 4.2 or something because he's extremely quick. Like he just makes up for it with his athleticism. I did see that they want to play him in the slot more, which is interesting. I don't know how that's gonna work, but yeah, you also have Jordan Battle. I haven't seen too much of, but from what I've seen, he looked fine too. So it's a really nice DB room. Now the D-line room, it's good. You do lose DJ Reader, who was really nice. Like he's such a good nose tackle. But I think some of their issues that they kind of fixed was that they didn't really have any pressure on the interior, um, besides DJ Reader. And like Reader's good, like he'll get pressure on the inside, which I won't talk too much about Reader, but he's really good. Like the friends run at a high level, could get some pressure inside, beat up on centers and guards. But so you lose him, which is a major thing. I do like the moves they made. So you have Trey Hendrickson, which he requested a trade, but I think contractually he can't get traded. It's kind of a funky situation. He's not the same guy he was. Like he is. So the way I would put it is like he used to be like an edge one guy where you could trust him to beat just good tackles and throwing them in different ways. But he's kind of just not the player he was. Like he's still a really good player, just not the same high level player he was. So you can see the downfall happen. He's still really good. It's just kind of an issue where before he'll always try to win outside of guys. But he just doesn't have the same athleticism. Like that part's regressing, so tackles aren't really too scared of being beat outside from him. And so he had to transition to using more speed of power stuff and just more power moves just to punish tackles and get some pressure. And that's how he frees up working outside. Because if you go through guys, then tackles are gonna be like, all right, gotta worry about that, and you just beat him outside. So he has to do that a bit more. But he's still really good though. It's just not the same. Hubbard's kind of just like he's a solid run defender, power rusher, pocket pusher. Can play a ton of snaps. Just one of those type of dudes. Like he's fine. DJ Hill's kind of a weird player. He doesn't really do anything good. He's just fine. He doesn't really win one-on-ones. He's okay on stunts and all that type of stuff. Okay as a run defender. He's just fine. I'm not a huge fan of him as like a DT2 on a team. If he was like DT3. That'd be really nice. More of a backup guy. Rankins is a really nice ad. And just what I was saying, when they had no interior pressure, well, you get it with Rankins. He's still a really good pass rusher, really nice run defender. We don't really have any true nose tackles on this team. I think this will show their, yeah, 305. I think Hill is like 310, 311. Like BJ Hill's pretty big. I think Carter's 290. Yeah, thinking this small. I'll just pull him up. 305. And they have McKinley Jackson, 331. J2 Feedley. But yeah, so McKinney Jackson's gonna be more their nose. Like, because this team kind of ran like a mix of even fronts and odd fronts. They transitioned from like before 4-man front to like a 3-man front with 2 outside backers. So they have been doing a couple different things, and like Rankins and BJ Hill, they could play like 1 tech, the 3 tech, line up over the guard, or shaded over the center. Not a huge fan of head up over the center. That's what McKinley Jackson's for. But you could just have both of them out there. Zach Carter, I kind of like Zach Carter a bit as like a DT4 type guy. Like, he's fine. Doesn't do anything that crazy. It's kind of like the same thing as BJ Hill, where BJ Hill is just fine at everything. He's like, Carter's a tier worse, I guess. He's just okay at everything, nothing special. Chris Jenkins is an interesting guy because he was a really good run defender for Michigan. He does play a bit smaller, but I think he's more effective, like head up over the guards, to outside shade, to inside shade of the tackle, even head up over tackles. Like, he's gonna be more of that. One thing I said was like Christian Wilkins type role, where he's just gonna be a really good run defender. I mean, since it's Michigan, like, they do a ton of stunts, so he's gonna be really good running all that type of stuff. And so I really like that move. Like, this 4 as a DT room is nice, and you have McKinley Jackson. But I kind of liked in the watches. He's not, like, with most nose tackles, they're not gonna be that good technically, but there's just a couple of plays where he showed some strength against Bama. He wasn't getting killed too bad. Yeah, I mean, I really like this D-line room, and I almost forgot about the edges. Yeah, Hubbard's nice, Hendrickson's good. Sample's kind of more of a heavy edge that you put outside on run defending downs, and he could just pass rush inside. Wasn't that effective, but he at least has a role on this team. Just for the size, whatever. He's a small edge, like, it's just hard to play small edges. Because, yeah, I could get some pass rushing in, but he's not really going to defend the run that well, and he plays small. So that's an issue. Miles Murphy is nice. He's going to be more of a power guy. His favorite move is like the long arm. And, yeah, so he's going to be really nice too. He's a really nice run defender too. He's interesting. That's all I'll say about him. Cedric Johnson's kind of more of a power rusher too. He's pretty strong for his size. I think he's a bit smaller, right? Yeah, 6'3", 260. It's not that small, especially when you look at like Osai, who's like, he's also at 260. There's no way. Osai plays like he's like 220. I'm really surprised at that. That's wild. Anyways, Johnson does play like a bit stronger than his size, more of a just power rusher, pocket pusher, all that type of stuff. I think they'll keep these 6 edges, and I'm assuming like Johnson and Osai, like one of them or both of them might be healthy scratches most of the season unless injuries happen. But and it's a good team, a crazy good team. I do think that this team, I don't know if I want to call them contenders. I think they're only like team I would consider as true contenders, probably like, I don't know, Niners and Chiefs. That's mainly because they just have a crazy amount of talent. I think they're like a borderline Super Bowl contender. Yeah, there's just way too much talent. Yeah, I probably won't be able to play an Eclipse. This is kind of way too slow. Which is a bit of a shame. So let me back up and go to the Browns. Andrew Berry, Stefanski both had extensions. Schwartz and Dorsey. Dorsey. Was there last year? I don't think so. And yeah, so I kind of wish this played. But yeah, you have yeah, Epstein Jr., but and you have Jameis Winston in this room. That's a crazy room. Yeah, not gonna say too much, but keep the women away from him. Anyways, I don't know. It's rough. Like everything outside of the quarterbacks, I like. It's just the quarterbacks. Like Watson hasn't been good. He's been just awful. Yeah, he kind of just more of a backyard QB, and yeah, it's just awful with them. There's really no redeeming qualities with them. I just don't understand why he was paid. I get that this team was desperate for just any quarterback upgrade. Like Mayfield wasn't that great in his last season, and he played on a bum shoulder. But Watson, though, yeah, Winston, he's a backup, big arm. Uh, that's kind of it. Just big arm will make crazy plays, good or bad. Just do crazy stuff. Huntley, I mean, he's very athletic, Pro Bowler. So they have a Pro Bowl QB on the roster, which is nice. But this is the same thing. Like, there's just almost nothing quarterback wise. Kind of hope that Dorian Thompson Robinson. I hope he starts for his team. That's all I'll say. Like, or Huntley too. Yeah, Raheem Hines is still on his team, and they have Deonta Foreman. Okay, like running back wise, Nick Chubb had a extremely bad knee injury, but hopefully he comes back healthy because he is one of the best running backs in the game. Like that dude's insanely good. I don't think there's gonna be too much of a drop off. I hope, but I mean, it's just tough. Just kind of predicting. Like Ford did pretty well in his absence, but Ford isn't really anything special. There's a difference when you have a really good running back to just an average one. It's a huge difference. And so you have that. Deonta Foreman's a really good runner too. He's just odd because he can't really do much besides just run really well. Naheem Hines could be more the pass catching back. Yeah, Strong, John Kelly, they're just whatever. Wide receiver wise, they traded for Jerry Judy, have Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is just more of a guy you just get the ball to, have him make plays. Judy, been a disappointment. Good route runner. Cooper, Raiders legend. He's a really nice player. I don't know too much about Jamari Thrash. I mean, like more of a D line guy, so I don't care about skinny guys. I did like Cedric Tillman. I think he could be another good outside wide receiver. I can't remember if I saw reports of him competing for like the like an outside wide receiver spot. Like it'd be him, Cooper, maybe Judy in the slot, and David Bell. He's here too. I think Prochet's a returner. I don't know if they'll carry 7 wide receivers though. Devin Njoku's a great tight end. He's a really good blocker. Like, yeah, this dude's just insane too. Atkins is nice, and then I have no idea who these dudes are. So that's rough. The O line's still really great. Like Pochich is nice. Antonio's like one of the best pass blocking guards. Wyatt Tyler's really good in the run game, and he's really scary as a puller. Conklin's nice. I think he had a knee injury too, so at least some sort of injury that kept him out for a while. That's a bit rough. Magic Wills is a disappointment. Like he's nice when he tries, but there's so much plays that it's weird to say like he's not trying, but there's almost no excuse for some of the plays he has. It's just weird. Synergy's nobody. Ryan Allen as a backup's interesting. Luke Weipler too. More like the smaller athletic centers. Um, Michael Dunn as a backup. Zach Zinter, Michigan man. The only thing I remember from the Michigan's O line is that they're all pretty good run blockers, but they all were basically just guards. Like even their tackles were just guards. And I don't mean like, you know, that they were actually guards, but that like projection wise, they're just guards. Why they're so good run blocking. DeJuan Jones is big, like he's fat. It's kind of all there is to him. It's like the Orlando Brown Jr. type thing where you're just big, long. Like that's just how you win. It's just hard to go through you because they're so big. It's kind of hard to go around you because you just have long arms, so you just throw a punch and drive these outside of you. But he played pretty well in lieu of Jack Conklin. Everything else is fine. Yeah. Wyatt Davis is here. Ohio State guy? Yeah. I mean, I just wish they had a better quarterback. At least a quarterback you could root for. Like the only guys you can root for, or in my opinion, is Huntley and DTR, but yeah. Yeah, it's a little rough in the PR department. Fans Awards elite, easily the best cornerback in this division. Emerson's really good. Newsome, Nickelback. They don't really have a ton of depth. Halif Halasi. Yeah, the depth's kind of scary. Justin Hardy, Cameron Mitchell, um, Juan Thornhill, Grant Dalpett are both nice. Ronnie McLeod's here. Yeah. They have Devin Bush, Jordan Hicks, and JOK. JOK is insane too. That dude's extremely quick. And just good at reacting. Like he's just a good linebacker. Nothing really too deep. Like yeah, he's not gonna be able to take on blocks that well. Um, he's a bit smaller, but he'll just outrun blocks or run underneath them and make tackles in the backfield. Like he's good. Hicks is kind of washed, but he should be fine. Bush, whatever. Yeah, nice room though. Their D line room's insane though. I mean, it's just I just need to take a moment to look at it. Myles Garrett's one of the best edge rushers of all time. Um, he's definitely not the best. I mean, you know, there's other guys, but like that dude's insanely good. So like for edge play, just to keep it simple, like you need to be a good edge or like an elite edge. You need to be able to threaten guys in 2 different ways, which 3 ways you could threaten those by beating them outside, going through tackles, or beating them inside. And so, like a lot of the top tier guys are really good at doing it two different ways, like at a high level. But Garrett's different. All he does is say, "Hey, I'm gonna run around you and get to the quarterback," and he just runs around the tackle and gets to the quarterback. That's it. And he's insanely good. Like he does the same thing almost every single play, and no one can stop it. The only thing you can do is slow it down. Like there's so much plays where, so what teams will do will slide to his side, so that means you have a guard sliding. So if Garrett tries to go inside, you have guard help, and then they'll have like a tight end outside, just to release outside to slow down Garrett, so he can't just brush off the edge or he'll run into the tight end. And they'll have a running back behind them just to help out and like release late in case Garrett just gets there instantly. And Miles Garrett will still get to the quarterback in under 2.5 seconds. That dude's insane. Like you can't compare anyone to him. If you do, you're not watching film. That's the thing. Like you don't know anything about football if you have anyone close to Miles Garrett. That dude's good. Yeah. Zeus, he's nice too. More of a power rusher. Could rush over guards too. Alex Wright's kind of a bit similar. He's more of a heavy edge. See how big he is. 267. Yeah. More of a bigger edge, run defender. He's really nice too. Ogbo's a really nice pass rusher. So that's good. Shelby Harris is kind of just a bigger DT. Or not bigger DT, but he's a nice run defender. They like head up over guards a ton. Tomlinson's nice. More of their nose tackle type dude. Like he's just really good. Good in the run game. Quinn Jefferson's more of their pass rushing DT here. And then Michael Hall is an insane get. Like this is the dude that in Ohio State he would play nose tackle a lot more because he was good against the run. Like he was able to handle double teams and just get low, play through them, split double teams. He's really athletic too. I think he's a bit on the smaller side. Like 6'3", 300 is nothing too crazy. He tries to use a swim move a lot, which works if you're like slanting across. It worked really well in the run game when he's slanting across the center and doing a swim move over him. Pass rushing wise, he does try to use the swim move a bit too much, which doesn't work if you're doing it against dudes that are bigger than you because you're trying to swim over him. So it's a lot easier if you're just taller and bigger than them, but like he'll get better. He's a really good athlete. So the traits are there. Just the way he moves, like his explosiveness, his burst. He's gonna be really good. I really liked Isaiah McGuire from last draft class. This dude was really, really nice. Like he's a good run defender. Like can beat you off the edge, be a power rusher. I'm a bit confused on why he fell because his tape was really nice. Hurst, Raiders legend. He's whatever. Kind of sad to say. Siaki Ika, love him as a nose tackle. They kind of played him like Shelby Harris, where he wasn't really like lined up as a nose. In a couple of games I've seen of him, he was more just head up over the guard or playing 2-eye, and he moves really well. Like I like him as a nose tackle because he does move really well. I mean, Baylor had this dude like looping and playing contain off the edge, which for a nose tackle is kind of crazy, and he was doing well at it too. Like the couple of games I've seen him play against were like the Texans and the Bears, which are more like wide zone teams, outside zone teams, and so he'll try to get reach blocked, but he'll be like play those reaches really well. So he's gonna be really fun. Kamara, whatever, and I do like Juwan Briggs. He had some interesting tape. Yeah. Like I think Juwan Briggs, one of the best things about him is that he has really good backfield vision. Like he's just playing through blocks, and whenever the running back commits to his side, like he just gets there. Like he just knows, just sees in the backfield so well. And he transitions from run defending to pass rushing on play action really quickly, and he's just nice. He's not crazy athletically, but I do think he's a bit underrated there. Like, I'm not saying he could become a starter or should be. I think he could contribute and give you like a nice like 20% of snaps at some point in his career, like be one of those backup DTs. But yeah, this team is just it's so loaded on the D line. It's insane. Team's so nice, except for that guy, which sucks. Todd Monken, Zach Orr's a DC. Yeah. Ravens. It's a weird team. They lost so much, um, especially on the coaching staff. I don't know how to feel about the Ravens. Oh, and for the Browns, I think they're gonna be a playoff team, compete for a wild card spot. I doubt the Browns are gonna win the division. Still a really good team though. This team's also really good because you have number 8. Josh Johnson's the backup again. How old is he? 38. Okay, that's crazy. Henry Jones. Oh, he was a Cincinnati guy. Kentucky. Yeah. Okay. Interesting quarterback room. Um, but yeah, I mean Lamar. Not much to say about him. MVP. Got it twice in his career. Like this dude's really, really nice. I know some people are gonna point to his numbers, but it's one of those things where you just have to watch football. Like this dude's really great. Um, like the reason why his numbers weren't so high is because in the red zone they'll just run the ball, hand the ball off to Gus Edwards because they can. Like, who cares about quarterback stats? Your quarterback plays at a high level, cool. But yeah, so Lamar's great. That's nice. I just don't like the receiving weapons like Bateman's, whatever, Flowers. If he's not sharing a cell with Henry Ruggs, like he's really explosive, gets open really quickly. I mean, Aguilar's kind of like their deep threat guy. Hardy's more of a returner. This was the North Carolina guy. Yeah, I think he was a bit of a deep threat guy too. Alan Wallace, whatever. Man, it's not a great wide receiver room. Like it's fine, it's workable. It's a bit similar to like the Chiefs, where yeah, the wide receiver room might not be great, or like the Chiefs the last couple of seasons, but you also have a really great tight end. Like tight end room here is really nice. Whoa. Oh, and I hope the power doesn't go out. That would suck. But yeah. So like Andrew just hasn't been just elite. Like he's not even close to that Kelsey tier, and he also misses a ton of games too, which yeah, bit of a shame. Likely's really nice. This part's kind of crazy. He just plays like he's so much bigger. Like he'll make crazy catches, make crazy contested catches, and all that stuff. Charlie Collard's a good blocker. It's a really good tight end room. Also have Patrick Ricard. There he is. That dude's cool. So yeah, I mean, run game wise, like you have Derrick Henry now. So the main thing that's gonna change is because Derrick Henry's not really a gap runner; he's more of a zone runner. Because he's just like a true like one cut back. Like he doesn't play like Gus Edwards, where he's just gonna get the ball, run inside, break a bunch of tackles, run through guys. Like he's just more of a hey, he run outside zone. He makes a cut, make his read, boom, and then he goes. Um, and so I think that's kind of why they traded away Morgan Moses, because Morgan Moses is good in that gap scheme, whereas Rosengarten is a bit smaller, more athletic. And so they are probably going to transition more to running more zone plays for Henry. Justice Hill is a nice like third down back. Key and Mitchell. Had a rough knee injury. I don't know what is with these Ravens running backs and getting hurt, but yeah. Um, really athletic, really fast. Rashim Ali from Marshall. I not even not gonna pretend I even seen one play of him, but maybe he does something. Um, but yeah, so be more of his own scheme team. Stanley wasn't that good last year. Got killed with power. I don't know, something with his plant leg that just he didn't seem comfortable with it. McCarvey's kind of like one of the best backup linemen just because he can play all five positions. He's like the true 6'0 lineman. You see my dog outside my window. Being goofy. Oof, they're gonna start Voorhees and Ben Cleveland. None have been good. I think Voorhees was the one that tore his ACL. Yeah, the USC dude. I don't know, like the O-line dude I talked to just said they're both trash. So yeah, Linderbaum's really good too. Really nice athletic center. Iowa boy too. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of rough. And then Falele is just big. I don't know, like you just kind of just see in my face, like just because you have Lamar and good enough weapons and good enough blocking, like this team's gonna win a ton of games. I don't know. Like this compared to the Bengals, it's tough. It's just so I don't know what team's gonna win the division. I think it's easily between them two, unless injuries, of course, or unless DTR becomes elite. I'm not gonna pretend that the Steelers could win this division. Yeah, it's a crazy team. And this DB room. All right, because like Stevens had a nice year. Him and Jalen Armour Davis. We got TJ Tampa. Let and then Marlon Humphrey's really nice. Physical corner, all that type of stuff. He's cool. Wiggins is crazy athletic. I know he ran like 4.2, and he was kind of light, but he's not like Emmanuel Forbes. Like he plays a bit more physical than you expect. Man, this dude's so interesting. Like especially as a man coverage guy. Seen a couple of plays of him from watching the Clemson D line where he just breaks on the ball and it's crazy. Like wide receiver run a curl route, like he's bailing, sees wide receiver stop, he just plants and goes. Like it's good, and he's gonna be so nice. Yeah, this DB room's so good. Um, Linebacker, like I mean, Patrick Queen had a good season last year. Like I just don't think he's gonna be too much of a loss. Like you have Roquan Smith who changes defense. Just having an elite linebacker changes so much. And even with Patrick Queen, like there's a couple of games where teams will target Queen, not just in the pass game, but also in the run game. Like the Niners just like Kyle Shannon just circled him and was like, "We're gonna attack this dude," but not just in the pass game, but in the run game too. Like they ran towards him because they'll try to go underneath blocks when the running zone outside. He'll just get caught in the wash and like cool, did nothing. Or he'll just overrun things and McCaffrey just make him pay and just cut underneath them. Yeah, like a bunch of yards easily. It's like I don't think Queen's too bad of a loss. I could be wrong. I don't even remember seeing Trenton Simpson play one snap, but yeah, like I think it's fine. I think it's fine overall. Um, this is a odd front team, so you know, Eagles is outside backers. Like they did lose IPP. I have no idea what that means. Now I'm kind of like they did lose Javon Clowney, who had a really great season for him. Really good run defender. Really good power rusher. And like Clowney's been kind of like one of those dudes that just bounces from team to team and just contributes. He was like the first overall pick, so he is very talented. Got Tavius Robinson. Nice. Um, I still like their room a bit. I'll be honest, I've Haven't seen David Ojabo play. I can't really speak on him, sadly. I think the year he came out, I didn't pay attention too much on the D line. But yeah, I mean, always fine. Like, it's crazy because I think he ran like a 4.3, and he's fast. He plays fast, but he's not explosive, which is different. It's why he can't really threaten guys off the edge as well. He's fine hand fighting wise. Like, the main thing that's really good with him is speed of power because he's a lot bigger, and he does play physical too, which is nice. Not like some of those other bigger, fast edges that just wimps out. Like, he'll go through you. Um, a lot of his, like a lot of what the Ravens do, they don't really set up one-on-ones a ton. They just do a ton of like slants, blitzes, loops, crashes, all that type of stuff. So you don't really need to be great at winning one-on-ones to be good on this team. Um, and so like wait, like yeah, he's not gonna be great at winning one-on-ones, but he has a role, and he could defeat like smaller dudes who struggle with power, who just run through you. And he's really good on just crashing and stuff. Yeah, I just got a text from work about power stopping for a bit. Van Noy's nice. He's like a true outside backer. Drops in coverage really well. Good spin move. He's more of like the technical guy. Um, as a pass rusher, so you just beat up on bums. Adisa Isaac is a pick I like because he is very athletic, and he can threaten you with speed, and he's really good at blitzes and stunts. It's kind of what Penn State did. Like Penn State let their guys be athletes, so they had him like loop around like crazy, like stunting, crashing, doing all that type of stuff. So like he's gonna be used to it. So that's nice. I think he's gonna fit that role really well. And he can drop in coverage too. Like he's really athletic. He's good for this team. But losing Clowney's tough though because he don't really have like that edge. He's just that dominant run defending edge player. Because Odafe always like, like he's good enough run defending wise, but it's kind of banking on Ojabo being healthy and being what he is, which I don't know. That's a tough bet. Um, their D line is nice too. Like Michael Pierce is kind of they gave him like a 3-year extension. Give him something crazy. Yeah, this seems big, and he plays it. It's so funny to watch him play because like as a nose tackle, like he's just fat. That's all he is. Like he just takes up room. So when guys try to like double team him, he doesn't split it with like really good technique. He's just big. That's all he is. So he has his role. But yeah, he can't bend at all. If you watch like Byron Murphy take on double teams, he's like dropping his knee, getting low, bending like crazy, and then Pierce is just like can't even bend his knees at this point. Roderick Washington's fine. Look good against base blocks. I mean nothing crazy. Matabuki's really good. I see why he got paid. Cause like he's probably I don't know if I want to say elite, but like at the very least like high level, like doing those like slants and crashing, looping, all that type of stuff, which I'm gonna say a ton. Like he's elite at that stuff. As a one-on-one pass rusher, like he's good, but because he's good at the other stuff, like, he just has so much value for this team. And he's a really good run defender too. I think he's a bit smaller too, 6'3", 305. Yeah, nothing too crazy, but like he just play like almost everywhere on the line, and he's a crazy run defender. So he does a ton for this team. I think he plays a ton of snaps too. I'm pretty sure he played like 80% of snaps, and yeah, I think he's good. Urban, like he's kind of older at this point. He's someone that's more going to be lined up like over the guard or outside shade of the guard. Just play more in the like base defense. Travis Jones, edge rusher. Yeah, there's a play against the Niners where he rushes off the edge and gets a sack. So this is good too. He's a really interesting nose tackle. I mean, like the Ravens are just gonna move dudes around. Good run defender. I do like him a ton. Everyone else is like whatever. Like who cares? The power sucks. All I'll say. It's just tough to like get a good gauge on this team. Like, is this team better than the Bengals? Like it's tough. Like both of these defenses look insane. Even though this team lost a good amount. Um, I don't know. Like I just think run defending wise, like I know they struggled with it last year. I think it was run defending. It was either run defending or just like overall defense kind of like didn't do too well in the second half of last season. It was one of those things, and yeah, which is rough. But they just put a ton of resources in the defense, and I just don't know about the offense. Like, at least with the Bengals, like you know what you're gonna get. With this team, it's just I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so Ravens, Bengals, probably I would say Super Bowl contenders, like maybe Super Bowl contenders. Browns playoff team, and then the Steelers. I don't know. Or Austin, DC, Arthur Smith at OC. I do like Arthur Smith as the offensive coordinator. To be more of a zone guy, physical, run the ball, play action. Like we know what he's gonna bring. Um, yeah, really got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I do like the John Reese Plumlee signing. That's crazy though. Like John Reese Plumlee's gonna be like could be like Taysom Hill of this team. You got Justin Fields that could be your running back. I told someone that they should do like a triple option play or like a read option with Russell Wilson with Fields as a running back and to have a bubble John Reese Plumlee they could throw to and have like a tight end or running back league. I mean, a tight end or wide receiver league. So if you throw the bubble, Plumlee can just get the ball and throw it into the league. Yeah, interesting. But like Fields, Wilson. So the main issue is this, like with quarterback play, like what I said at one point, where you just have to be able just to run an offense and run it on time. Wilson and Fields can't do that. It's a huge issue. And with Wilson, like what made him special was like he had an elite deep ball, and it's why they ran like a ton of play action with Wilson. It's like run the ball first down, run the ball second down, play action. It's how you get him to play on time. And if you need him to do something special on third down, he can, or he was able to during the Legion of Boom era. And I think that's kind of why, like, what made him successful. But I don't think he wanted to do that, and it's why like a ton of OC, or he tried to get a ton of OCs fired. Why he kind of complained and why he wanted to cook. And it's like, yeah, you can cook, but it's not the most effective offense to run. There's a reason why Pete Carroll, like no matter what OC they had, would always do that type of stuff where you get under center. It's like run the ball, third down, play action. And Fields is kind of like a much worse version of that. He's just couldn't do anything on time. It was awful, which sucks though, because like I really liked him at Ohio State. I mean, I'm not a QB guys. Yeah, I was wrong about him. I thought he would be so much better. So that's a shame. Yeah, and this team drafted two guys too. Like Daniels is cool, Samula is cool. Uh, I didn't like Frazier. He looked kind of unathletic and not that great. I did like Troy Fontenot though. That's an interesting signing. And then Broderick Jones is kind of he's a good run defender. I mean run defender, run blocker. But Fontenot's really athletic. That's gonna be really nice on the wide zone stuff that Smitty boy likes. Which is why they got wide receivers that can block, like Roman Wilson can block. Jefferson's, was with them in Atlanta. Man, this receiving core is not that good. Pickens is really good. Physical wide receiver. Like, of course, he has highlights blocking, but you know, he's also a head case. So, yeah. Austin is just fast. Miller, another Atlanta guy. It's just funny to see, but yeah, Miller's here. Chris Watkins is fast. I think Callaway's fast too. And this is gonna be a weird offense. Like Pratt Firemood's fine, like he's cool. Washington, good run blocker, but he looked kind of not that great in the pass game. Connor Hayward, just throw flats to him, more smaller dude. Michael Pruitt's here. I do like the running back core. Like I know people kind of hate Najee Harris, but like he has a role. Like he's one of those dudes that you just give like a bunch of carries to, like not worry about his body breaking down. He'll get the tough yards, just run like inside zone with them, all that type of stuff. And Warren's more of the smaller back. They could get those explosive plays. Could also do like some of the third down stuff, and he's a good pass protector too. He's nice in that role. And Cordell Patterson's probably going to be just another weapon. Like he's a good receiving threat from the backfield. Everything else, like whatever. Yeah, it's just not an inspiring offense to say the least. Defensively, they got Cam Sutton, who's on the run. Dante Jackson, Corey Trice, Brett Coleman's cornerback one. Darius Rush, Anthony Averett. Yeah. Joey Porter Jr. was good though. Another physical cornerback. I'll get in your face, jam you like crazy. Yeah, he was really good. Minka Fitzpatrick, he's nice too. Could do everything. Really great. He's like the robber player. Elliott, I have no idea. Killer Bruce here, the Montekizi. It's just a fine DB room. In my opinion, they got Patrick Queen. Just funny. Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts, and Peyton Wilson. I know Holcomb got hurt. I forget what he hurt them. I mean, like Queen's athletic. Roberts is kind of more of, I don't know. He's good against gap runs. If you're running towards him, like he'll get physical. Like he'll like take on blocks, shed them. I've seen a couple of plays where he just gets like lost on some of the zone plays where he'll like over pursue, running back cuts underneath and gets yards or stuff like that. I mean, Holcomb from what I've seen looks fine. Um, I don't know, like I don't think it's a bad linebacker room. It's just like you have like four, maybe four guys that can start and play. It's interesting. I have no idea who to talk about next. All right, we'll talk about this team's best edge rusher, Alex Highsmith. That dude's really good. He's a bit undersized, 6'3", 240, nothing crazy, but yeah, he's a really good spin move. I'm usually someone that hates spin moves, but Highsmith, he's good at it. I like when he does it. Could beat you off the edge, beat you with a spin move inside. Has different ways of beating you. He's a good run defender for his size too, which is nice. Could drop in coverage as well. Like, yeah, really good 3-4 outside backer. And then TJ Watt, this dude. Like I don't know what to talk about him, but I could go on a rant about him because I think people get too caught up in the stats. Is he elite? I don't know. I have a hard time saying he's elite with the way he wins because it's different from like other elite players, especially with Myles Garrett, which he gets compared to a ton. With Myles Garrett, it's more like teams will do everything they can to stop him. The other elite players, teams will do things to stop him. With TJ Watt, you don't see that same type of commitment from the D line, and there's even, I mean, commitment from the offense, and there's even like a like the O line masterminds thing where they kind of were like, all right, how do we stop TJ Watt? And all they said was just be patient, have good technique. Whereas everyone else were like, damn, like how do we stop Von Miller? How do we stop Max Crosby, Khalil Mack? Like they're like worrying about it, stressing about it. Well, TJ Watt's just like, yeah, just don't get beat. That's it. Like you'll be fine. Just be patient. You'll be good. And yeah, like there's so much times where like his sacks are against just, yeah, like they're like bad tackles or just tackles making mistakes, and then he'll punish you if you make a mistake, because he's good and he's smart. Like I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying I have a hard time with putting him in the top tier of edge rushers. And it's a weird mix. It's like the league doesn't treat him, or like offenses don't treat him like an elite guy, but he's like borderline there. I just think TJ Watt's main issue is like he's not that athletic. He's probably like the smartest pass rusher, but it's kind of part that he has to be to make up for it. And this isn't me saying he's not athletic, it's just there's a different tier from him and the other elite guys. He's still really, really good. You know, this isn't me saying he's bad or whatever. It's just more like, I don't know if I'd want to call him elite, but yeah, he's a great player. Herbig, small boy, another outside backer. Liked him in Wisconsin. They gave him quite a few one-on-ones. He could just kind of like the same thing. Like he has a spin move, could beat you outside, yada yada, whatever. I don't know where this dude's from. Philly. I don't like the depth though, because usually with edge rooms, like you usually play 4 guys, and I think this team's only like 3 deep. So yeah, D-line room. Um, Logan Lee's whatever, Fioku whatever, Leo, it's not that good. Lowry, yeesh. Adams is fine. Like he can play nose tackle, move him across the line. Um, Louder Milks, whatever. But yeah, starters, good. Okunjobi's more of a 3-tech type dude. He's nice. Like he'll get some good pass rushes in. He could win some one-on-ones. Nice run defender. Hayward's just an Iron Man. This dude's still a high-level player. He's so good, just at everything. It's kind of cool because like usually he plays on the same side as Alex Highsmith, but this is kind of part of like the scheme team. Like you have Highsmith and Hayward on one side, so teams kind of to slide that way. Otherwise, you're gonna set up 2 1-on-1 with Highsmith and Hayward, and that's not great. And so teams will slide towards that side, and you get a 1-on-1 matchup with a bad right tackle against TJ Watt, and TJ Watt is gonna win that matchup. But yeah, yeah. Benton is nice too. It's kind of funny because like I thought Ben could be like the Hayward replacement, which I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could play him out there, but he's been like he was playing nose tackle for this team, but he can play nose tackle. Like he was pretty solid as a run defender, which is interesting because usually like younger guys struggle at nose tackle because of how the blocks are. Because from the college game to the NFL game, double teams come at you way more quickly and are way more physical. And so him just handling it is a really nice sign. Like he's like I didn't expect him to be a nose tackle, even though he did it in college, just because of the way he plays and how his athletic profile is. But he had a couple of nice pass rushes in, so he's really interesting. Like I don't think he's gonna be there pass rushing yet, but maybe in a year or two, because athletically he's really really good. Like he has good hand fighting because he was a wrestler, and he's really physical, and like the way his lower body moves, like yeah, I really like him. I don't know, like I don't know about this team. Like defensively, you have enough pieces to still have a good defense, but offensively, it's just rough. I don't know. Tom is gonna find a way to get this team above 500 or at maybe at 500. This is a team that probably ties somewhere. So yeah, interesting division. I'm definitely excited to see how things play out, but yeah, that's enough for me. Like, subscribe, whatever. Wink.